Morning, I guess. It's a bit early. Um, got a request to end a few things that's been going on. When I say end, it just means to finally tell them what's going to happen when they pass away. Because when it's technically this is what is going on is that the punishment will be this, that, or no, whatever. Well, anyway, the Masonic lost its jewel, so when I say jewel, they don't know what jewel goes in the Masonic and whatnot, so that's a good thing. I don't want that stupid thing watching everyone. Even though it doesn't. But, brief history about the Masonic. The Masonic was actually not a temple, it was just like every pyramid, if you ever listen or read the documentary, it's just a really nice way of someone being reminded about where they were. Things on the wall, mainly picture stories of what might have happened leading up to certain things, or just mainly a good memory, their thought. The law in that of European law, which is someone said that U.S. based its law off the European law. They didn't have a choice in the fact of making law, so this is kind of how this goes. In European law, when Parliament or a judge falsifies something they wrote on paper and they signed and whatnot, and let's just say, for instance, as a reference of an example, you go in for a violent action, a fight. So instead of throwing the fight out and putting a citation to both people, which the citation does carry for 10 years on a fight. Actually, no, 5 years. No, yeah, 1 year. Okay. So it'll be on your record for 1 year. If these charges aren't dropped, then they reverse. And when I say reverse, that doesn't mean anything on paper gets changed, unless someone goes after them, which that's normally what I do. I'll normally say, why are you doing this and this, and why isn't this removed, even though it's kept in the cabinet for references, in the sense of, okay, this guy has 98 accusations against him, but only was accused of 4. When someone gets that many accusations, it's just what they call a runaway cop syndrome. You can normally define a single action of a person by what they did. So if someone beat up someone, that's assault. So if someone murdered someone, that's murder. And whatnot. But I mean, like, that would be assault with an intent to murder, or the assault to actually murder, or assault with murder. Even though it may sound like 2 words, it's not summing, but it's actually describing what the person did in a single charge. As far as certain document cases to why Pennsylvania is going to release well over 12,000, if not 20,000 criminals, is the fact that the judges falsified records, started nailing everyone with aggravated assaults. This is illegal. Well over 5,000 to 9,000 records have aggravated assaults. That is aggravated assault with a class of M, which they think stands for mitigated, stands for murder. If these judges don't turn their decision around in judging, you will be the next one never coming out of that grave. Which, I was thinking, that might just be the best damn thing that ever happened. Because they don't have enough education. When a judge is put there, they normally have someone they go to. Someone who has more education by generation than anyone. It just so happens that's me. And as far as Judge Smith, Judge Richard Smith or Judge Smith, you were told, just like Greavy, one thing. One, Greavy's not even legal. He's in witness protection. Two, not to go to what you call mitigated ranges because it's murder. And you knew that back in 1980. I told you that right to your face in 1990. But I guess your kid having a good life is more important. While your kid just got murdered. So did your whole family. It's been beyond the 40 years of crap, starts with a T, but no, it's not transreduction either. Transition, where the murder will transition to the judge and not to the person. If the person gets transitioned to the murder, then guess what? You're gonna have one heck of a legal murderer that you just put on paper. That's why you never sign your name. Speaking of the documents and videos of these, you actually approved it. Judge, it says HNI, standing for Honorable Judge Smith. You just approved of murder. Everyone in the parliament in Europe told you the same thing. That's murder, not mitigated. And when you see the mitigated paper, that's not mitigated. It never said mitigated. You can't just copy over whatever you want. You just can't sit there and say, "Oh, I'll make this." No. You need a document saying where that mitigated range came from. You need a signature. You need a full-blown, detailed document. You don't have that. So, like I said, Smith, you signed that record. And without a judge, which is the best thing that I can do right now, is to simply, and you got a cease and desist order against you. So did Greavy, so did the probation office. Even welfare. I wanted this to go right into welfare. You got a cease and desist order. You also got another document that you were to hand over. And that one was to the government. The government of North America, which was considered to build up a people government, that said outright to cease and desist, or that of all murders, killings, abortions, anything you do will be held against you, and you will be 100% accountable. This country's done, dude. I told you why the industry does not want to stay here, and they're leaving. It's not so much really about industry as much as the people in the industry. Like I said, you did yourself in. You're past 20 years of recognition of being able to change something. When you die, well, guess what? You're going to see me standing there telling you something. The same thing. The same thing. You screwed up. Your whole bloodline of your kids, your ancestors, your whole history's gone this time. Yeah, guys, it's been tolerant, but not real great with you and your ancestors, if they're ancestors. As far as the accusations on my criminal record, they have been removed completely by Europe with an apology. And I didn't get that letter, so I was told about that letter by who? Smith. Judge Smith. who probably changed the name on it. So that's why there's copies. The Masonic, it's well over 40 years. It's well over a generation of 20 or 4. They're done. So, have a nice day, if you can. Because that was final.